Isn't it beautiful? It's like me, a rough diamond. Beautiful. 1979 FJ45 troop carrier. And boy, has it changed. Now, George owns this one now. George found it on Gray's Online, I believe. So I said, hey, George, what's its history? And he said, oh, I don't know. It was a Queensland registered vehicle all its life. End of story. We can't tell you town, how many owners, where in Queensland. It's just had a long history of Queensland registrations. But George found it on Gray's Online. But the funny thing is, Mr. Landcruiser has met this vehicle, maybe the previous owner or the owner before. We've met this vehicle before. A long time ago, we got a phone call. It just arrived on a truck, on the back of a truck, and we took it off and got an email from the customer, and he said, I need new windscreen wipers. So we put windscreen wipers on it, and then the truck came and picked it up again. So there's pretty expensive windscreen wipers. It had a tow truck 2 ways, but now George owns it, and George knows what he wants. George wants 12 HT. So this is why it came to Mr. Landcruiser, and we have done a lot more than just a 12 HT, mind you, but it came in as a 4-speed 2F, and it's leaving. We're pretty much done, as I say. It's leaving as a 12 HT 5-speed. It had other stuff already on it. Power steer disc brakes. We tidied them up. Had dual fuel. We tidied that up. To leave us legalities, we have to, make sure it ticks boxes. To get an engineering, we've got to make sure it ticks boxes. So we did a little bit more than just engine conversion. But look at the stance on it. Look how tall and tough this thing actually looks. We also did a parabolic suspension upgrade. So it's a standard 2-inch lift, but she just sits proud, sits tall. She's got some big wheels on it. Some big neg, probably neg 44 or something. They're quite a deep addition there. You might know better at home what is that neg, but it's deeper than my 25s. And what have we got? 32s on 15s. I didn't even know. She just looks big and tough. The deep dish, the high stance of the parabolics. And oh man, it's nice to drive now. Let's go around the outside of this vehicle. Up the front, she looks, I wouldn't say homemade, but it looks different. Bumper bar up the front, and that used to house a winch. You'll also notice the front of this vehicle, the colour doesn't blend in. Now, one of the future plans is cosmetics. George has a little bit to do, a few little cosmetic patches and some stuff to do to this one. So now was the time. We're not doing the restoration, the bodywork, so now was the time for Mr. Landcruiser to sell and fit, so we could get all the lights in and dummy it all up, fit the new front panel. Just you can virtually make a whole car now panel wise. It's all on our website. So we put the front bib and bezel on, so it's ready for its. I think George is going to actually enjoy it before he gets any paint work. There's plenty of time for that. But then we started dressing it, things like indicators and shiny, just shiny bits, bonnet latches, and just we got it all up to spec. If something, if it needed roadworthy, we added it as we go. If we look on the other side, I'm going to talk about two things. The Donaldson's there for today. I don't know long term, but we've just, it was always there. We've plumbed it in again. What happens next? It's up to George, because part of the future plans is that body. They might change it then, and underneath that Donaldson is a big black box. Not like the ones in an airplane. This one is, because inside we have aircon that wasn't designed for this car. It's so big that it just pokes out the car. So someone's made that little black box over there, and that, at least whatever they've done, it houses the aircon and it's served its purpose. So we get inventive and we tick boxes. Moving along, on the other side we have a perspex window. George isn't too happy with that, so just going to throw in a couple of bits of glass. Throwing them in for free before he gets here, so when he does do the body, he can address that then. And still moving along the back there is, that is some heavy duty rear bar there. If you're in a little Ford Fiesta and you rear end this one, say goodnight to your Ford Fiesta, because that's a heavy bit of steel. but it's also a great step. You can sit on it, have lunch, make a sandwich. If it ever gets a roof rack, you can stand up there. So it's pretty cool, actually. I do like. Now, I reckon we're going to have a look at this 12HT and talk about what it took, what George brought to us to get it all in there. Oh, kill it, Mick. Isn't that a thing of beauty? I've got a tear in my eye, actually, or it could be just sweat because it's about 40 degrees today. Isn't that a thing of beauty? The sound that thing made, 12HT, and doesn't it fit in there like a glove? Same block as a 2H thereabouts, so it fits exactly the same. We're copying the structure of a 47 when it comes to shroud, bell housing. So, George would like a 12HT. They're pretty hard to buy a 12HT, but the best thing to do to bring to Mr. Landcruiser is a FJ45 with a 12HT and a 5-speed in it. We will convert that gearbox to transfer from vacuum assist, and we will add things that the FJ61 doesn't have, your engine mounts, your bell housing, and your cross member. And if it's not a 47, then we will upgrade. Because this was a 45. It had a petrol radiator. So we changed the cooling system to that of a 47. And it all plumbs in. You send your tail shafts away. And your handbrake. Your handbrake then can go on the rear axle. I believe this one may have already had just what it was required for the handbrake to go on the rear already. So that was easy. But a little bonus for George is that he had an air locker in that donor car. So we're not going to throw that in the bin. We're going to throw it in here. So now we've got the compressor here for the air locker. And the other compressor in here is aircon. Now, I've already said that it's in here, so I don't know. I think it'll have to change it to a more modern one, but it's got the provisions to go aircon in the future, which is really, really cool. Again, this one already had power steer. We've modified it because when it leaves here, the engineer crawls all over it, and he would have failed this one. He would have failed a few little things with the fuel tanks. So it just has to go right through it. And then it's also been mod plated for a turboed engine. We've made, doing the power steer, we've made a few modifications to the chassis and changing the handbrake. He's changing the brake system. Here's a mod plate. There's a million mods on this thing, but it's all ticks the legalities now. And so we've gone right through it. We've done hundreds of Ks in it. And this thing's so enjoyable. I'll sit inside and talk about that because this thing's so enjoyable to drive. One, it's got the 12HT power, my personal favourite engine, and also the comfort inside of the Troopy. So I think that's it under the bonnet. Oh, I will say this is a fiberglass. It's as light as a feather. You wouldn't want to leave your little catches open because the wind will rip that right back. Again, we didn't touch this bulky piece hanging out the side here. We didn't, nothing cosmetic because George has his future plans. But again, he's going to use it first. He's going to leave here, go get it number plated and just enjoy it, and then decide to do that a little bit later on. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is the seats, because I sat in here and it's so hot today that I burnt my bumhole and both my nuts. But more than just that, I did it with comfort. These have been reupholstered Falcon seats, and if you look at them, they've been done beautifully. They're just really nice quality. So it's not just the quality and the comfort of this seat. I wish you could have feel-o-vision through your screen because it's so comfortable. And I'm used to a ute, and this is, I think it's pushed right back. Yeah, look at that. Look at the leg room. I am nowhere near that steering wheel, which actually means, for me, your legs feel comfortable. It's the long drives where my legs start to fail, and I either have to hop out every couple of hours or numb the pain with beers. So, Troopy for the win for the actual room you've got in this thing. This thing's been heavily modified on the dash. Now, remember, 1979, so it's got the older school dash, but somebody else has just made a plate that's convenient for them and put what they've needed in that plate. And so that's got all these switches, and it's just aftermarket switches, which it's also utilised some genuine switches as well. And he's got, what do you say, just labels so you know what you're... It's got dual fuel, so it's got 2 gauges, one in the cluster, one on the wall, and then it's also now got a turboed engine, so it has boost and pyro in 1 gauge. You'll see the plastic still on the cluster, on the surround. It's brand spanking new, no doubts. And if we look at the aircon, this is what I'm saying. It's not the typical one you'll find in a 40. It's a very big unit, hence it poking out the wall. Someone wanted cool air. They utilised what they had and they made it work, and it would have been really nice. Really, really nice. I like the little knob on the glove box lid. It looks kind of cool, and it's all colour-coded in. It's just something a little bit different. Now, underneath me, I should have put a mat down because the floor is absolutely beautiful. We've put a no bull in here, fitted it all up, and it has come up really nice. Goes with the door cards, the seats, the dash. I'm sure George has plans for the dash in the future when he does the body. What George also said, which I said I enjoyed, leave it, enjoy it for now, is behind me in the back, it's a big checker plate floor. It's probably, and some of the side walls, it's all checker plates. So somebody has done repairs in the past. Normally it's not ideal. For this one, they've done a clean job. It's solid. And I really don't, if I owned this, I would address that later. Or where do you want to spend your money? Do you want a bigger bull bar, another locker, a new floor? The floor is actually fine. I've never said that about checker plate before, but someone's did a quality job, stitched it in nice. We can't find any rust. The thing is a solid vehicle, hey, and it is bloody lovely to drive. That's about that for the interior. We've got the custom seat frames, which now George sent us the seats and the framework, so it all bolts straight in off the shelf. There was nothing we had to make there. We did have to make them fit, but it's done also well. That's it. It's stinking hot. I'm sweating my ring out. I've got to get out of here. Righto, I pull my duds up. It's definitely a short stay here at Caboolture. Very warm. Now, hello, Bluey. You're back again, darling. Now, future plans. I said to George, I've never met George. Never met him. Sends the car in. A lot of our clients, I can't wait. He will be here very soon to pick this up. And we're going to have so much to talk face-to-face. We talk over the phone. We email. I can't wait to have a yarn with George. A really, really top guy to chat to. So I just know he's already got the bug. And I say, future plans, George. And he said, basically, to use it straight away. Well, he does have friends that can do the cosmetics, but he just wants to... He's been itching for this moment, itching. He has not driven it. So just to enjoy it. It's for him, his wife, and he's got some fur babies. It's a Troopy. You can fit all your farm animals, everything in the back there. So he wants to utilise camping, day trips, just everything that we already, all of us want out of our 40. And so he's going to be pleasantly surprised and happy with this vehicle now that he can finally come and pick it up. And I'd like to see it in the future. Maybe it collects in a year or two. We might see it a different colour or just the bodywork done. But for now, at least he can enjoy it. So bring on George's visit here to Mr. Landcruiser very soon to come pick it up. This one is a 1979 FJ45, but with a twist.